Good afternoon. It's great to be here with an amazing new chapter for Mattel and for Barbie. His stardom last year, as he was mentioning, was just mind-blowing. We turned the world pink during the summer, and today I'm going to share with you her brilliant rise, her stumble during some years in her history, and the playbook that allows to bring Barbie where she is today. And as with all the stories, to understand better, we need to start from the beginning. Barbie was born back in 1959, probably in a time that many of us will not recognize today. It was a world dominated by men, especially the toy industry. Even if women were the main consumer, decisions were being done by men. And the toy business was focused more on the features of the product, not on the value of the product. In California, Ruth and Elliot Handler, the founders of Mattel, really were shaking the toy industry. Their innovative creations, but not only that, they also believed that their ideas could last for generations. And Ruth Handler, the creator of Barbie, who was inspired by seeing her daughter Barbara play, she realized that Barbara was only playing with paper dolls, or she can only imagine herself in the future as a mother, because at that time, girls can only play with baby dolls. She was a working woman. She was a trailblazer, and she really wanted that her daughter Barbara had the same possibilities as her son Ken in the future. I don't know if you're hearing here, Barbara, Ken, yes, those are the names of their sons. Back in 1959, when Barbie was introduced to the toy business, Barbie was divided. Male retail buyers wasn't sure about that. They didn't know if mothers were going to understand how a girl is going to play with a doll with a grown-up body. So Ruth Handler, when she had it to pitch, to sell the doll to retailers, she didn't focus on what she believed was an amazing change that was going to bring into the toy industry. What she did is that she told retailer by retailer that Barbie was going to become the hit of the holiday season. And after an extensive TV campaign, actually the first TV campaign that ever existed developed for toys, together with Disney and the Mickey Mouse Club, Barbie was a success.
Barbie, you're beautiful. You make me feel my Barbie doll is really real. Barbie's small and so petite. Her clothes and figure look so neat. Her dancing outfit rings a bell. At parties she will cast a spell. Purses, hats, and gloves galore. And all the gadgets gals adore.
Barbie dressed for swim and fun is only $3. Her lovely fashions range from $1 to $5. Look for Barbie wherever dolls are sold.
Someday I'm gonna be exactly like you. Till then I know just what I'll do. Barbie, beautiful Barbie, I'll make believe that I am you.
You can tell it's Mattel. It's swell.
In year one, Barbie sold more than 300,000 dolls. That number today for us sounds little, since we sell 100 dolls per minute. The toy industry called it a fashion doll, but Ruth Handler knew that this was much more. It was the originally girl empowerment brand. The formula was simple: purpose times relevance. A brand both that reflect and inspire culture. Through Barbie, girls can imagine and can dream about limitless possibilities. But cultural change wasn't only in the product itself. Ruth was a pioneer, and she really welcomed diverse voices to work for Barbie. including some woman designers that at the time was not very common in the industry. As the world's first fashion doll, Barbie has modeled the aspirations of different generations and has really made her fit in the pop culture for 6 decades. The TV commercials of Barbie were telling to a new generation, we girls can do anything. And at that time, girls were starting to see their moms actually do new things because the world was rapidly changing. Back in the 80s, we introduced Barbie CEO, which provoked a national conversations in the United States because there was a lot of underrepresentation on the women in the C-suite. Coincidentally, at that time, Jill Ballard, pioneer CEO woman, was heading Mattel and was in Fortune 500. Fast forward to 2009, after more than 150 careers, from astronaut, CEO, to video producer, game designer, Barbie celebrated 50 years. As a pop culture icon, at the time, she was successful, admired, and relevant. But 5 years later, Barbie was in trouble. The Guardian proclaimed, Barbie, you had your day. And CNN wondered, is Barbie dead? And I can really say that the criticism was deserved. In some ways, we actually lit the fire. Back in 2014, Dove's groundbreaking TV commercial, Real Beauty, was everywhere. It's one of my personal favorites, and it was really talking about how the different beauty in all forms, right? It's a really enthusiastic and authentic dialogue that what happened with the consumers that was rapidly changing the way that we see the world. This is Barbie at the same time. What it was conceived back in 1959 as a strategic move to really empower girls and a well-intentioned statement of empowerment, right now was not there. The singular take on perfection that Barbie was having at the time was not in sync with the culture. Mattel keeps seeing Barbie, as we were looking at her until now, a model of aspiration. Unfortunately, moms were not looking at her in the same way. They were thinking it was pappy, they were thinking it was superficial, and worse, it was not inspirational. And girls were not able to connect with the brand. When we let and we allow Barbie to get complacent about the realities of a changing world, and we don't react in time, we unintentionally fail girls. We misunderstood how important it is for girls to feel reflected in the dolls and in the toys that they play with. We were in trouble, and this is where Barbie stumbled. It was very difficult days. In 2014, we had the worst period that we ever had in 15 years. So you can imagine, it was dark times for Barbie, but also for the business. It was the moment for us to really look at the mirror and really listen with intention what consumers want from the brand. It was a time to make very difficult decisions. Still, the risk of not doing nothing was even worse. And we did what many people thought that it was impossible. We changed the trajectory of a brand that was stumbled. How do we do it? We look at the past. We didn't look at the how, we didn't look at the what, we look at the why Barbie was created. What was the purpose behind the creation of this brand? And this informed our playbook. This is a playbook that now we use in every single brand in Mattel and every single brand that we are about to launch. It's a game-changing approach that not only drives forward every decision that we take at Mattel, but it's also our North Star. Every time I'm about to do a partnership, I ask myself if I'm looking at these 4 pillars: brand purpose, consumer-centric innovation, cultural relevance, and franchise mindset. Brand purpose. This is the distinctive reason for being that lives in every Mattel brand. Meaningful and motivating for collaborators, but also very important for consumers. Consumers really want to buy brands that represent their value. Today is an expectation. For Barbie, that is to potential and to inspire the limitless potential in every girl. It's more than a promise in reality, because everything we do, from marketing, design, everything we put in the point of sale, really is seen through these eyes, and is really our brand messaging. But there is still a lot to do. And one example of the things that we are doing because Barbie has a relevant voice is to create different projects that allow us to support this brand purpose. The Dream Gap project is a social impact initiative. Now, after 5 years since we started with this project, it's our most ambitious project today. And I want you to take a look at what does it mean, Dream Gap.
Let's talk about the Dream Gap. What's that?
It's the gap that comes between girls and their full potential.
You see, starting at age 5, girls stop believing they can be presidents, scientists, astronauts, big thinkers, engineers, CEOs, and the list goes on. Why? Because what else are we going to believe? When by age 7, we're more likely to think that boys are smarter than us. That's ridiculous. When we are 3 times less likely
To be given a science-related toy.
That's sad. And when our parents are twice as likely to Google, is my son gifted? Then is my daughter gifted? That's not cool. We need to see brilliant women being brilliant and see how they got to where they are. To imagine ourselves doing what they do. But we can't do it alone. Moms, dads, brothers, and bosses. We need all of you to help. We need to close the dream gap. It's up to all of us.
I have seen this video many times, and I still get chills, because it's really shocking that girls at the age of 5 start to have this limitless self-belief. To close the Dream Gap, we have worked and done a lot of research with the NYU University to understand and address what are the reasons behind this. We have put in front of girls more than 100 role models, because we believe that if girls can see it, they can be it. We have also created partnerships with charities and NGOs to create workshops that are delivering to children across the globe. And we are also funding nonprofits that are focused on removing the barriers for girls. To date, the Barbie Dream Gap project has engaged over 25 million children with different engaging content, with dolls, and more important, with real-life woman role models that are changing the world. Which brings me to the second pillar of our playbook, consumer-centric. Designing and creating products and experiences that anticipate and exceed the consumer expectations. That's what you see on the screen. The consumer is really at the core of everything we do at Mattel, and we don't believe that they are only consumers. We see them as fans. They love the brand above everything else. And for that, we really need to make sure that the brand is really representing the world around them. Today, Barbie has over 175 looks. It was really important that girls could see represented themselves, could see their friends, their family, in the dolls and in the toys that they are playing with. This has been a multi-year effort. It's not only something we did 1 year and it's finished. First, we launched a variety of ethnicities with different eye colors, hair textures, and skin tones. But we didn't stop there. Barbie body was still polarizing, and it was not really reflective of the culture that was happening at the time. So we did one of the boldest things that an iconic brand can do. We changed the product. We included 5 new archetypes that can really represent what girls see around them. This change really disrupted a complete system of play because everything that we have done until that moment of time was based on the original Barbie. So we had to change the fashions, we had to change the bicycle, we had to change the car, we even had to change the dream house. But that is a cost and a risk that it was really worth it. When the news came out, she quickly became the #1 story across the globe. The Times Magazine had her in her cover, the only doll that has ever done that, and generated nearly 100% positive sentiment. As I said, the evolution continues today, and we continue to bring every year new dolls. Now dolls also with disabilities. What you see now on the screen is the first Barbie doll with Down syndrome. I'm very proud to say that Barbie is the most diverse doll in the world, and that today, more than half of the Barbies that are in the market really represent diversity. Cultural relevance is our third pillar. Having a voice in the cultural conversation is critical for every brand. Barbie iconic status really allows to talk across different platforms, and of course, she's in social media. It's the #1 doll brand that is in social media, both Instagram and Barbie Style has millions of followers. If you don't follow her, I recommend you that you follow her because probably she will be in London in the next couple of days. It's also the #1 brand in YouTube. And the conversation that is having there with families is very important. She's not only talking about trends as a blogger, she's also talking about very important topics in a very kid-friendly way. She's talking about racism, depression. And she's also interviewing real-life role models so girls can really see the reach across the different countries. She's also on TikTok. And we are incredibly proud that when the cultural, political, and economic things around the world are sending different signals to our girls, Barbie is using her platform to really advocate for the limitless potential in all of us. And that has been noticed. Barbie has inspired and continues to inspire a new generation of influencers, artists, and entertainers who wants to play with us. Which brings me perfectly onto our final pillar, which is franchise mindset, which is all about how do we really maximize the impact and the reach across multiple touchpoints. This is what I know best, and the Barbie movie is a great example of this. Suddenly, pink was everywhere, from catwalks to sidewalks, and it's a movement that Vogue, the magazine, called Barbiecore. Everywhere, people, politics, artists were wearing pink, and pink was no longer just pink. It was an empowerment move. Not only Barbie was loved again by kids, but Barbie was now loved also by adults. I want to pause here because for a lot of people, this was the peak of Barbie is back. But this was just another chapter for Barbie. The movie came right after that, and that was a really bold movement because we had to reinvent already a brand when it was at the highest, and that brings us to a completely new chapter. And we had to be ready, because it was also to accept the humanity of Barbie and the vulnerability of Mattel. And very exciting for us, the movie was a success. A cultural phenomenon, was truly impacting. We were not expecting what happened outside in the world. We were very lucky to have an amazing pool of producers. You know their names: Greta, Margot, Noah, Mark. We were at the right time. Barbie was loved, it had a momentum, it had a massive cultural relevance, and a growing fandom. So we believed this movie might work. When we started to communicate the cast, it was crazy. The buzz around the movie was unstoppable. There were jokes and articles saying that everyone in Hollywood was going to be in the movie. And the talent list that we continued to communicate was hard to deny for us that really maybe this was going to be a success. And it was. Together with Barney, Warner Brothers, who did an amazing job, this movie becomes the #1 doll in the world, now also the #1 feature film for Warner in all their history. And it was also the #1 film directed by a female. Not bad. Amazing partnership came with the movie, but also amazing partnership came with the brand. We logged over 160 partnerships, from consumer products, promotion, digital gaming, location-based entertainment, and many more. Think it? We did it. Because the Barbie fans wanted a little piece of that Barbie land in their house. Fashion, accessories, all of those partnerships really span ages, but also gender. What I'm wearing today is actually a Ken outfit. And it's great to see that Ken was also recognized and did a breakthrough. Ryan Gosling really contributed to that. Our Barbie movie is a great example of what can happen when we really believe and trust in the people we collaborate. We want to collaborate with the best because we know that we can do great things together.
Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
Oh, hi, Alan.
Watch me dance, dance the night away. My heart could be burning, but you won't see it on my face. Watch me dance, dance the night away. I'll still keep the party burning, I wouldn't hear out of place. I don't play the same, don't you know about me? I could dance, I could dance, I could dance.
What a difference 10 years can make. Since the fuss and stumble from the Sport Illustrated cover, today Barbie is living her best life and is inspiring again. This year Barbie is turning 65 years old, and for us as a team, we need to ensure that Barbie has her best day ever from now until forever. And as we encourage girls for their limitless possibilities, and to dream big, that we also do as a team. While Barbie the doll is what is rooted and will continue to be the core of our brand, we are also giving ourselves opportunities to expand the brand beyond that. Because we think that the Barbie of today can and should be part of everyone's history. Thank you so much.
Ruth, thank you so much. What a wonderfully inspiring story. And I think we all knew that Barbie's had a big cultural impact, but the impact it's had over 66 years is quite impressive, and the turnaround, the change around. I have one small question, because unfortunately we've run out of time. How do you do 160 brand partnerships without going crazy.
We did get crazy. I think we took 3 months holidays, everyone in Mattel after that. I'm joking. It was a common effort. It's not easy. We were the same team. Nothing changed. It was a synchronized effort, and we worked on less hours. We also were very selective with the partners. So you see 160, you might think, oh, wow, that's a lot. We had to turn down many more because it creates such a buzz. But it's all about the team. We had the right team in place. We have an amazing and talented team, both from a brand perspective, from a consumer products, digital. Everyone was working together and making sure, also with their partners, that whatever we put out there, it was going to be really working well. You saw sold outs there. I think that every single collection of those 160 sold out in less than 24 hours. It was just crazy.
That's pretty remarkable. That is what happens when brands hit culture. So Ruth, thank you very much. Please put your hands together for Ruth and Mattel. Thank you so much.